go ahead and take your seats. We're going to get started here. All right, while you're getting your seats, we're going to pick up where we're going to be talking about the property and filling out some of the forms. In your handout, I believe that we are going to be starting with the lead sheet that's on page 25. So that will give you a reference on where we're going to be. All right, now, one of the things to realize is that Rock comes from a different generation than I do. Is that a true statement? Yes. All right, so I have a different way of thinking than Rock. All right? Now, one of the things that we have to do is we've got to go to the place where the people are in order to get them to respond. That's logical, isn't it? Mm-hmm. All right, so if you're out marketing for money, do you think everything that you learned just a moment ago is a true thing that you can apply with money? Yeah. The difference is this. When you're looking for money, what age group is the one that has the most wealth? 25 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, 50 to 60. I'm all those ranges. It just depends on who I'm talking to. All right, so the answer is you're 50 to 60. How do they access information? Is it through the internet? Is it through Facebook? It's newspaper and print. So that's how you do it. Mail, direct mail is a huge money maker for money. The other thing is that when you're looking for properties, if you happen to be riding down the street and you happen to notice a bunch of automobiles that are dated and you happen to see a bunch of blue hairs in the area, does everybody know what a blue hair is? Okay, that is a more mature group. And that more mature group, how do they want to access their information? Exactly. So, this stuff works. It just depends on who your audience is and what you want to do with it. Does that make sense for everybody? All right, but the thing about it is that if you're new, you're not going to think about that. So you need somebody to be able to hold your hand, somebody that's experienced that. And that's a good opportunity. So let's jump in and start talking about the property profile. Now, when we talk about the property profile, now we're going to be qualifying the property to make sure that it fits our needs. This is the photograph or the page 25. You want to fill this out in its entirety. All right? With the property profile, this information that I'm about to give you is the only information you need in order to make a business decision as to whether or not this project is worthwhile for you. Does everybody understand that? Yeah. All right, I'm breaking it down and making it as simple as I possibly can because it is simple. If I can do it, you can do it. All right, turn it over to the next page. Page 25 is where the property information is. Pickers is in here, I know that because page 30, what happened to the page 26, 27, 28? All right, we're working on it. All right, so let's see. Oh, that's the scripts. Scripts are after that. All right, so moving on to page 30. Thank you. All right, the way it works is like this. If you send me a house and you say, Russ, I got this house, this guy wants to sell, I am only going to ask for these 4 bits of information. Now, I noticed that somebody in the room has counted that there's 5 letters. I get that. So let's talk about that. All right, I want to be real creative. The first one is property information. I need to know if it's a duplex, quadruplex. I need to know if it's single family, commercial. I need to know, what am I buying, right? How many of you have ever bought something you didn't know about? Exactly. So we don't buy anything that we don't understand. The next thing is we got to have comparables. And we're going to be talking about a place to get that. We've already talked about the repairs. And then the last one is the spreadsheet. The spreadsheet is nothing more than mathematical formulas, addition and subtraction. Do not panic. You do not need to be a math wizard or understand how to use a financial calculator. All you need to do is a simple addition, subtraction, that's it. All right, no multiplication, no division. All right, so the thing that we want to do is a lot of you want to know how much money to offer. There are going to be a few skin knees, understand that, where you overshoot, you make a miscalculation. It's okay, all right, just as long as you don't buy it. No, I borrowed that knee. All right. Okay. The type of offer that you're going to make is going to be based on the information. This is the quote that I was using earlier, isn't it? Yes, it is. All right. The thing that we need to understand is that we've got to work with either equity or cash flow. Those are the two big decision makers. Why? How many people in the room want to do buying and selling of houses for social work and lose money and be a philanthropic adventure? Exactly. Nobody. So what we want to do is always look at the amount of cash that is going to be thrown off by it and the amount of cash flow. Now, I want you to understand that when we are buying houses, there are 4 different ways to buy. Everybody's learned this. That is, you can do a buy, fix, and sell. You can do a rental. You can do wholesale. And then you can do, honey, we're moving in. Now, when honey and moving in, you don't get either one of these. You pay retail, and you hope that it goes up. Is that a true statement? Yeah. All right, so how many of you can live in 4 or 5 houses at the same time? It's not a good idea. So what we're going to do is demonstrate to you pretty quickly on how to buy some houses creatively and how to buy houses with cash. All right, cash is boring, by the way. All right, now, if there is very little cash flow, we are going to ask for seller financing. If there is little equity in it, not enough cash, we're going to ask for seller financing. For those of you, how many of you have ever thought about buying a house that's upside down, where the mortgage is worth more than the value of the property? There's a few of you. All right, Art right here and I are talking about a house now that he's discovered that is only $20,000 underwater. And I'm excited by it. Now, why would I be excited? Obviously, there is no equity, right? So what does it have? You got it. That's why I get excited. And I get a good rate of return. But I haven't seen the house, so I'm not that excited, all right? If I was really excited, I wouldn't be here. All right. So what we want to do is figure out how much money can you offer? Isn't that really why you're here? You don't want to buy a bad deal. So let's talk about it. And again, what's going to happen is that when we put it under contract with the seller, we have to leave enough profit in it to be able to allow the person that buys it from us to be able to use it and make a profit. Cash or cash flow. All right? You can sell wholesale to a retail buyer. Does everybody understand what that means? That happens to be the overpriced upside down properties. You have individuals that are foreign nationals that do not and cannot get a loan without 20 to 25% down. If you offer them a piece of property with a 10% down payment and payments that are just a smidgen under what the rental rate is, do you think they might be excited? And I'll demonstrate that in a little bit. All right? So here's what it is. All right? First off, we're going to talk about how to determine the after repair value. What we have to do is we've got to do the comps. Comps are very easy. Here are the rules. You got to have 3 minimum. That's not 1. And it's not 2. Because you're basing your buying decision on this. All right? So we need to have a minimum of 3. The other aspect of it is that we want to be within plus or minus 15% of the number of bedrooms, the number of baths, the square footage, the acreage, that sort of thing. We don't want to be comparing apples to oranges. We want to compare apples to apples. Question?
Your comparables, are they retail comparables, foreclosure comparables, or a mixture?
And the answer is yes. And the reason is it's yes is because, all right, let's do it this way, very quickly. I think you'll get this the first time. What happens is this, that we have a tier right here, and it's the highest one. We have another one here and another one here. All right? These are the comparables that are coming in. All right? The distance or the spread, let's say, between this one and this one is 40%. Okay, typically. Once you start looking at it, you're going to realize that typically this one and this one is about 40%. This one to this one is about 20%. All right, everybody got that? Okay, so my question is, where's the foreclosure? Which one is the one that has already had the urban mining going on with it? Is it this one? This one? Or this one? It's this one. So you guys already knew this. Why are we talking about it? All right, so this one here, is this top of the market pristine, cherried out? It's got all the bells and whistles and it's really cool? Okay, so if we're looking at that and we're finding comps that are all over the place, we know where the dogs are. Make sense? So I'm going to give you a secret. Those of you that are in total fear about what I'm talking about and making money, here is the secret. I'm going to say that this is $70,000. I am going to say that this is in Smyrna. I am going to say this is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath with a 1-car garage. And somebody calls you. It needs light work. And you can buy it today only for $62,000. Should you or should you not? How many people say, no, I can't buy it because I haven't seen it. How many people are like, I'm buying that and I know I can wholesale it? All right, for those of you that did not raise your hand, here is the secret. Do you think that the people that bought this particular house buy trashy property? Yeah, they do, because that's where the primo deluxe super cool properties are. The other thing is do you think that the person that bought this paid cash? Wait a minute. This is where the bank loans. The bank ain't loaning down here. We talked about that.